pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for coming this evening. Those of you that are present and those of you that are online, glad that you're tuning in as well. You should have received the meeting minutes from February 23rd regular council meeting. Have those minutes. I'll make a motion that we accept them as written.
What's that?
What's that?
Tyler.
All right, Aaron and Tyler. All in favor?
Nice.
401. Mike, you are not here, right?
No, he wasn't here for that one.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not.
401 if you vote on that. All right, we will start with our public. Harold, you guys, well, I got your mouth full, so you want to wait a minute?
I'll wait. That's my stuff. Thank you.
Mike, have you got anything that you specifically want to bring?
No, not really.
Introduce yourself if you would, and
My name is Jamie Moore. I'm running for Grant Superior Court 1 judge. I've been with Grant County or living in Grant County for 25 years and worked for Grant County for 25 years. Middle of last month. First 12 and a half years, I was a deputy sheriff for the Grant County Sheriff's Department. And I went to law school towards the end of that. And I've been with the Grant County Prosecutor's Office for the last 12 and a half years. Trying to take the next step, become the next Grant Superior Court 1 judge. I just want to come and introduce myself tonight. Let everybody know who I am. I'll be in the community off and on. Maybe we're seeing some signs coming out. Be probably knocking on some doors with some teams and get other residents.
Yeah.
That's all I have. I'll be around afterwards if anyone wants to.
okay, very good. Well, thanks for stopping in and introducing yourself.
Thank you.
Have you all got anything that you'd like to present tonight? No? All right. Well, very good. Thanks for coming. And enjoy the donuts. Des, I guess we'll start with you.
Last month, I emailed you guys on the sewer works bond anticipation note. Do you guys have any questions on that? What was wired and are you guys okay with that? Okay. Also wanted, I wrote a check back to the Swayzee Days Committee in the amount of, they opened up their own account, so $3,808.58. I just want to get an approval that that was cut and given to them.
I'll make that motion.
Yeah.
We can't.
I'll second.
And then we do have a new business in Swayzee. It's Oasis Air Repair LLC. It's owned by Bryce Shear. And is that okay for Brittany to put on Facebook?
Is it okay with him?
Yes, he wanted, yeah, he had emailed him and wanted, me to make it known. Okay.
Yeah, I would think that's fine. And I think maybe not in that post, but connected somehow, we need to make other businesses aware that if they would like to, if whether they're new or old, if they want, I think that's, if we can help be a voice to let people know who's in Swayze, we should do that. So, you know, I don't know if that made sense or not, but
Yeah, I used to do like a business spotlight.
Yep.
And like, I'm happy to do that again. That was a long time ago, because like nobody really like asked for that. But like, I think it's a good idea to bring that up and, yeah, share that, so.
I think we need to be encouraging businesses to join the Swayze Businessmen's Association as well. I know at one point that was pretty thriving and it's dwindled down. So that association, as far as I still know, still does the Christmas lights, correct?
I'm not sure about it.
I didn't know it still existed.
Yeah, I don't know that they have. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I don't remember the last couple years if what role they played, because with it, a couple years ago, all the lights got replaced. And so the amount of effort and work has changed over the last couple years. So I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I can text Lynn and then maybe get a written or something if it's still.
For that board, that's nothing.
Yeah. Also, an additional 95 million was set aside for communities that applied for last year's community crossing grant for the ones that didn't get awarded. They opened it back up for the ones that didn't get awarded. So I did apply again. And I published in the paper notice to bidders and did that on March 14th. And then whatever bids we get will open up on April 20th meeting. You guys have any questions on that? And there's a list of the roads taken out. Grant Street, sorry, Heather.
Is Grant Street in it or not?
No,
No, Grant's,
It's technically not a street in our inventory. Am I correct?
well, the street is there, but they don't.
My part.
Yeah, they've got it mapped incorrectly. They have it going a block farther east than it actually does in reality. So because it's incorrect in that inventory, and I got the contact to get that corrected. So as soon as we get it accurate in the inventory, then it could be added into.
So what about West Grant Street to the new post office? I've had several ask me recently.
Yeah, it's a part of the inventory, but it was not a part of the fall application. So we can't, when the application was because it really wasn't a new application, it was just resubmitted. So there weren't any changes that could be made with the exception of East Grant being taken out because of the incorrect inventory status.
So can we put it in our next community crossing grant?
Yes.
That's your plan?
we are trying to, I'm working on getting a bid with Scotts Grant County. And paving that back there. Because if we made any changes to this, it would have had to totally been approved by NDOT and everything. So we kept all the roads the same except taking out Grant Street. But the next one we will definitely, but we are going to look for money somewhere to pave that back there with
And it's to pave West Grant going back to the new post office as that all gets finished and in place. Just with different funds than is connected with the community crossings grant.
Right.
Because the next community crossings grant will be solely focused on Lion Street. So.
Swayzee Day or Swayzee Rummages will be June 5th and 6th. Bev is going to continue doing it and I'm going to help her with it. Somebody from Gas City called and said, hey, is it still going to happen? Wasn't sure. So I called Gloria and Bev. Gloria said absolutely not. She's not doing anything. But Bev said she will continue it, and I told her I would help her. So that's still going, and that's June 5th and 6th. We ordered and the tractor from John Deere and came in, and we got it on March the 11th. The first payment was made. That was $11,131.42. And I emailed you guys all the documentation of the lease. So we'll have 3 payments. That's the first payment. The next payment will be, I think, the same amount. And then it follows up with $1. The last payment's $1.
I saw it yesterday. It's pretty nice.
You sent pictures. It looked nice.
Yep. And so I did have pictures, Jake take pictures and gonna put it in our assets.
I didn't drive it. No, the black trash cans back there at the town building were rolling around the parking lot, so I opened the garage and put it in. I wish it'd be a little dirty if I did it.
On the 2 quotes that you got for the replacement pumps. For the variable pumps, the 27,000 or the 15,000. Those are the 2 different quotes that you got, right?
Yes.
Where were those quotes from?
Living Waters, I believe, is I don't have them with me. I'd have to look, but I think it's Living Water.
I know we can I can't touch anything in general because it's
utility, right?
Yeah. So I would have to take it out. And these are water, right?
Wastewater.
Wastewater. So I would have to take it out of several. Yeah, I would just. There's just several appropriations I can take it out of. I mean, we can make it work. Now, it's better, of course, to do the 15,000, but I mean, I don't know what the difference in the quotes are.
I'll do a little explanation. So beginning in April of each calendar year, IDEM requires disinfection to happen a little different in the warm months compared to in the wintertime. So the disinfection will begin April 1st, and it consists of a couple pumps and piping, but the pumps have kind of lived their life and are not, they're not flowing consistently enough to make sure that so we disinfect with chlorine, and then we also inject SO2, which basically neutralizes any leftover chlorine before it goes into our outflow. So those 2 pumps need to be in sync, and that way we don't violate, or we don't have excessive chlorine, and we get any bacteria or anything killed that's in the water before it goes into our outflow. So those 2 pumps are what this quote is for. One challenge that we have with the wastewater plant that, it's been a problem probably from day one that the plant was built, but certainly in the last 10 or so years that I've been aware of things, is when we get a rain event, our flow coming into the wastewater plant increases. And so we have been pretty actively trying to find where is rainwater getting into our collection system. We certainly will continue to try to eliminate any of that excess water. But what happens when we do have an elevated inflow, you have an elevated outflow. And so the two quotes that we've got, the 15,000 is to replace everything as it is, which are constant flow pumps. What that doesn't do is compensate for fluctuation of flow. The variable rate pumps will utilize flow meters. So if we have an increased flow, we will inject more chlorine, we'll offset that with the SO2. And that's where some of the violation over the years has happened, is when we, with the constant flow pumps, if we get an inflow, we may not get enough chlorine injected. And then so our chlorine numbers might be off and our SO2 numbers are off with the testing that we do at the outflow. So as much as I would love to keep the cost relatively, as low as possible, I think that, the reality is we are certainly in the process of, going to build a new wastewater treatment plant. That will take time, and we need to be compliant now. And, until we can find all of the inflow, the excess rainwater that's getting into our collection system, I really do think the variable pumps are the right way to go, so that we stay compliant with our testing. We don't need to give IDEM any more reason to want to, be critical of our operations. And this is over the last 4 or so years, we've had 2 areas of violation. One is at our outflow, which this would address, and the other is our volume. And that's because we're getting rainwater in the collection system. The variable rate pumps would, and for all practical purposes, should eliminate any violation on the outflow.
I was just gonna say that if we don't, I'm not real knowledgeable on all this, but I would think that if we do the variable pump, the price difference from the constant to the variable, we could end up paying a fine anyway, correct?
In the longer run, yeah, the bummer is because we're gonna put a new plant in place, this will become obsolete.
Right.
That's the frustrating part, is the timing of it. But because the new plant will utilize UV disinfection, which by nature will compensate for flow volume in a similar way this would, using chlorine and SO2.
So
I guess where I'm at is I'd rather just spend the money now and keep IDEM off our back and playing nice than to pay to a fine later.
I would agree.
And we can't use this in a new plant.
Right. The new plant is designed for UV
We wouldn't-
disinfection.
Yeah, we wouldn't need it.
Correct. We would not need both. The new plant, the UV is best, and we've looked a little bit into, would there be a temporary solution using UV? And there wouldn't be astronomical cost. The 27,000 for the staying with chlorine and SO2 is the most economical short-term fix, even though it's not going to be able to stay once the new plant is in place. Harold?
Okay, you've been tracking this overflow from the rainwater.
Correct.
What progress has been in locating where those entry points are?
Yeah. So in about the first week of February, well, at the end of 25, we purchased 5 flow meters. Those, as dry as it was, and with the temperatures, that they did not get installed until February, which is not a big deal because we were so dry through the winter anyway. But I think it was the first week of February we installed those. We have 5 that they are movable. So what we did was we picked 5 manholes, we installed them there, and they detect flow variation. So of the 5, one of them showed pretty significant flow when we got a rain event. So that one has been left in that position. We moved the other 4, and we will continue to move those around to identify areas of town that the one that we have found is a significant inflow. So what we will be doing is cameraing that going backwards to find, okay, where are we dry? And then find out where is that water coming? My gut says it is probably connected to what was part of the combined sewer stormwater that existed for the first 50 years of our existence, that was never separated when that separation project happened in the 70s or 80s. So we are, with our inline camera, is how we're going to identify, but the flow meters will help us find areas that we need to spend more time on. And ultimately we will redirect, if it is what I think it is, what I think it is it's stormwater coming off of Main Street that is still connected to our sanitary line. So we will, once we determine where is that connection, then we'll work to divert that to just stormwater, taking it out of the sanitary collection system. Yeah. Any other questions about that? I know that was maybe more than anybody bargained for, but. So all that to say, as much as I hate to spend the extra, it is my recommendation that we go with the variable rate meters, chlorine and that SO2 system at our disinfection outflow. Correct.
We don't approve that on this.
Does anybody have questions, comments, concerns?
I don't think we have a choice.
I'll second.
Tyler and Mike, all in favor? 5-0.
And then, I know Kyle is working on the annexation for the Studebakers and
Eastus.
Huh?
Eastus.
yeah, Easton's. I did talk to my, Mo's wife. And she said she's gonna talk to Mo and then get back with us. She doesn't see why they would have a problem annexing that property behind Mike and Eastus also. Cause they're getting water, wastewater, trash. I'll let you know on that. She's gonna talk to Mo. And get back with us.
Good.
That's all I have.
Des, what is this about Chuck Wagon on here?
So. I don't know how many years it was.
Probably 6-ish, if I were guessing.
Trey had put a gutter, well, actually, I don't know if it was Trey or if it was
It was Clevenger.
Levenger's. Cause the water, cause we had put a new metal roof on there. Is that when they did it?
Mm-hmm.
For the water to run down. And Trey had, Clevenger's had put a gutter. I don't know exactly how it went. Who did what, when the outspout, with the downspout, with the little piece for it to run off of the roof and onto the ground. But I guess, and I'm almost sure it's a shared roof between Brian's building and our building on the top. I'm not sure. I've never been up there, so I don't know the whole
Yeah, I
story.
think the shared roof stops where they added on coming this direction. I think that wall is the actual vertical line between the buildings. And so part of Chuck Wagon does share a roof with this building. And so when the roof was redone, guttering was added and a downspout, and what appears is that a section of that downspout disconnected, came off. I don't know exactly how that happened, but, and so that's where, did he just call today? How long ago did he communicate with you?
It was last week and I sent it straight to Jake and Jake went over there and has been communicating with Brian. And it's a solution. I'm not sure.
They did get some at least a temporary
Jake
solution.
said that he was going to do something. Now what he did, I'm not sure, but he's
All
been
right.
communicating.
Emma,
I'm the ones who work on for Brian
okay,
and the high roof, which would be over the old lodge.
Yeah.
Is got a piece of gutter that runs across there. It's got a rotted out seam where two pieces butt together. So what that does is it drips down onto Brian's low roof, which would be over where the old bank safe is and the restroom area. And it, in the wintertime, it piles up, it hits that grating on the catwalk and it creates ice and then it builds up down to the roof. And what it has done is that it has damaged his rubber roof from the ice building up from the gutter above leaking down onto it. So there is also a downspout that comes from that upper gutter that comes down and it just dumps directly onto his roof.
yeah,
And it was-
yeah, that was the change somewhere along the line, because that used to come all the way to the ground.
Yeah,
So there's a piece of downspouting that has
yeah, so
fallen off, blown off, whatever.
yeah, so what Jake has done is he went up there with a piece of 6-inch pipe, or black perforated pipe, and he stuck it over the end of that and got it so that it's
Get it off the
the roof entire. So what we showed Jake was that gutter needs fixed. If that seam is fixed and it's not leaking down onto the catwalk and directly on Brian's roof and then the downspouts working right, then it shouldn't be shedding any unnecessary water on his roof.
Okay. Okay. Well, if we can follow up with Jake on that. See,
I think he was supposed to call Clevenger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I told Brian that he's gonna do it, just getting Clevenger to respond in a timely fashion.
Right.
Des, do you have any more insight about the airport? Did you have a conversation with him or did he just
No,
email
he
it?
just emailed. And I sent you guys all of that email last minute, like 6:30, but if you guys want to look at it and then let me know if you want to do it, then I can put it on letterhead and sign it, send it over.
All it's saying is we support it
Yeah.
and they're wanting water and wastewater there. Is that how I read it?
Yes.
That Marion would do, not from.
Yeah, not.
Yeah.
It would
Not
be-
from- Yeah, it's just a Marion Utilities extension. Or an upgrade out to the airport.
Why would they care Swayze?
I think because they're trying to get either state or federal money, they're just
Okay.
trying to gather support. Do you know anything about it, Kyle? Have you heard any? Okay, well then Kyle, why don't
your guts.
you enlighten us?
No, they've been trying that for years. There's a state grant, federal grant that they're really in line for. So, I'm sure they want, it's a regional airport, so I'm sure they want some more from everyone in the region. You know how grants are,
Yep.
they're just more of that, so that's part of the process.
Tell them we'll support their airport expansion if they support our wastewater expansion.
That's what I think, yeah.
I don't have a problem supporting it.
I don't have a problem.
If that's what you're needing to hear.
It is gonna be valuable to, I know IW's started an aviation program, and so there's some growth that I think they're hoping for out in that neighborhood.
Well, part of the grant, supposedly the state, they have a lot of support. That's, we're talking significant, 12 to 15 million.
Yeah.
It's usually the partnership, so. The Air Force actually sends cadets to the Marion Airport, so it's only like one of 7 in the country.
Really?
This got funded again, so they send a lot of cadets over the summer. They've got the aviation with the career center and Indiana Wesleyan. So they're talking about building, classroom space out there, buildings, et cetera.
I know that the River Church bought Lakeview or merged with Lakeview and they're working on getting on town services as well. So I wonder if
Are they not currently?
No.
Oh, really?
So I'm wondering if it's just not a drive to push it all at one time.
Yeah.
They're not on town water anyway.
I certainly don't have a problem supporting it. We're not gonna gain much out of it, but it's not gonna hurt us either. Okay, Brittany.
Yeah, I just wanted to update you guys about the website. I don't know if you've been able to go on there, but and not to like scare anybody, it is live. We are just not pushing that URL yet. And so our old site is what people know, and that will go to that. Once, what we can do is, what I will do is put in like a code. It's pretty much in like, if people type in swayze.org, it'll push them to the new site. I don't want to do that yet because I don't know what's going on, but for some reason, like I'm having connection issues getting into the account on the back end of the website. And with the town council, they know that, like the tech department knows that. So I'm just waiting on, I'm getting blocked for some reason. I don't know why. Converse uses the exact same format and same company, and I've been able to get them into their site. So I don't know what's going on with us, but we're trying to figure it out. So, as soon as I can get clearance, I will get in there and make all those updates. But I feel like until like we have the calendar at least updated, a couple other things, I really don't want to push it yet. And it's like, so, but I wanted to just go over a few things that will be different. There is actually going to be a much more visible alert section that'll be on each page of the website, and it'll be at the footer, and it'll be like a pop-up window. So if there's something that comes up, like trash is delayed, or an emergency, or if anything else, I can put it in there, and yeah, it's actually pretty easy and it looks good. So and then what I would like to do is with the council meeting videos, not to embed them because we've talked about not doing that, but at least like linking the specific videos to each meeting. So if people go on the website, they can at least click on a link and it'll take them to YouTube for that specific meeting. Because some people get confused when there's a whole the dashboard is like 20 videos and they don't know which one to look for. So that could be a way to help. I wanted to maybe add like a new residence information page. I don't know if you remember that packet we made that one time. Like I thought about it's another thing. Like so the information else. Well, in contacts. Yeah. Just making like a simple new resident information page with anything they would need to know if they move here, if they're looking to move here. Also, I don't know if we could do this or not, but maybe adding permits. We've never had permits on the website before. But I don't know. So that's a question to ask with the board. Mike, I don't know if you think about that, but
Jake's actually been handling permits, but I'm sure he probably would like that idea.
I know we've gotten a lot of requests.
Well, there's so many other municipalities that do that online, and I actually prefer it as a contract.
Yeah.
It's probably easier on the municipality too, I think.
Okay.
I've never been on that side of it.
Sure. Okay. Can I get with you then? Talk about like
Yep.
where I can set that then. Yeah, those are the biggest things. I did do a kind of like an audit of how it looks right now. Our information is good, except just like the homepage is good. There's quick links, things like that. So I feel like we're probably like 80% of them.
Any questions for Brittany?
Are we still doing editing on it?
So now the power has been transferred to me,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't get in for some reason.
Okay.
So what we can do is we get 4 free content updates
Mhm.
requests a month. If it's a big thing that I can't get into, if it's like coding or something that you guys really want, we could request it and it'd be free. But as far as like any other minor content updates, I can do that. I just can't get into it yet.
I just was just looking and saw a couple of businesses that are on there that probably shouldn't be anymore.
Okay.
So I didn't know if it was just for us looking and still kind of talking about it yet.
Yeah, it's just for us.
Okay.
Just for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have. As far as calls, monthly call volume, we had 220, which brings us up to date to 675 for the year. Maintenance, I am waiting on getting my car into the shop. Phil's been on vacation, then he had some health issues, and then he had stuff already scheduled, so I should be able to get it in within the next week or so. Just gotta check that. The other vehicles are fine, nothing is wrong with those. I did attend a training class this month, hosted by the Marion Health Police Department. It was a tactical medical course. And it was free of charge to go to. That's really all I have. I don't have any new information or any requests.
The new car had a production date. I need to check it again. But basically its status, it was scheduled for everything I could look at, just said schedule. So as soon as it starts actually going through the process, we should be able to track it really well. But until it's on the line, we won't see anything beyond what I'm seeing currently.
I don't, you got anything else?
I don't know if you want to address the public hearing on the sale of
Yeah.
potential sale of.
Yep, we can do that.
property in the fire department.
Yep. Yeah, we can transition into that. And in doing that, we'll open or to have a public meeting to or a public hearing would be a better way of saying that, to sell the town of Swayzee, to sell what actually is 3 parcels, better known as 111 and 113 North Washington Street, to the fire department. Will allow them to add on. Mike or Tyler can expand on that if you'd like, but at this point, we'll open the floor to any questions or comments. Everybody has an opportunity to share their opinion, but the town is at this point in consideration of selling 111 and 113 North Washington Street to Swayzee Volunteer Fire Department. Harold,
Price for the sale is what?
$20,000.
Thank you.
Comments, questions? There are no other comments or questions. We'll close that public hearing and we can move to the resolution to make that sale to volunteer fire department. Any other comments or questions or concerns? Say that again? Was that a comment? I couldn't hear what you said.
It really needs to be done because we need the space.
Right. Yep. Would agree with that. Okay. Well, I will make a motion that we sign resolution. Did you look and see what number that would be? 9. Resolution 9-2026. Town Council, Town of Swayzee, for the sale of the real property 111 and 113 North Washington Street to the fire department.
I'll second.
Aaron and Heather, all in favor?
Aye.
401.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm just used to hearing 401 here lately. I'm like, no.
Yes. Tyler's abstaining because he's part of the fire.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Already
thank you.
spent.
We spent that about 20 minutes ago. Kyle, have you got anything else?
You also asked discussion last meeting about the potential of the town council staggering council terms.
Mhm.
And a good memory, Aaron, because we discussed it 2023, if this is the year if you want to do it.
Okay.
So you would have to do it by December 31 of this year. All seats are up next year. You know, the easiest way would be some to do it 1 year term. Some seats would be 3 years on the council if you want to stagger. Once those terms would end, then it would go to, your standard 4-year term. That would put them both in even years in all elections. Others going, if you're gonna do that, it would be, clerk probably positioned to, same time frame. But it's, so we could do,
And what does that process look like?
just adopting an ordinance. Really telling me the way you wanna do it, filing with the clerk if it's adopted. If it is adopted, you could not repeal it within 12 years. Some talk even doing away with municipal year elections, moving them to general. I guess the interesting point, since you're all at large, would be how do you determine which seats are 1 year and 3 year?
And that would only be one time though, wouldn't it?
Then they'd be elected, it would be 4 years. Just speaking out loud here, thinking maybe if you wanted to do it, you could do the 3 lowest vote getting, 1 year terms, the other, the 3 years, however you want to do it. That's the way. I don't know how you really distinguish seats. Really don't, do you?
Not really.
You're just all at large.
Right.
By vote. I'm not even sure how many put in the run last time. I think we got 5.
We had 5.
Yeah, we
I can't remember last time we actually had a vote.
been a while.
Okay, so when is the official term right now?
27, the end of next year is everyone ends the end of next year. That's the local municipal elections.
And the problem is all of us could go off the board at one time, and that would not be a good thing.
Especially that one.
Yeah. No. That would be scary.
So I mean, you've got time, may get something you want to do, just let me know and we can get it. Probably sooner rather than later if you want to do it, just so we're not against the deadline, but we have plenty of time. I mean, the deadline would be December 31 of this year. And if you miss that, then, it has to be the year before the municipal election, so that, 4 years away. What do we think?
Well, in my opinion, I think it's an absolute must that it should happen.
I agree.
No matter who it is, having all 5 vacant or all 5 seats becoming vacant or being replaced at the same time that would be catastrophic. I can't even comprehend how much of a challenge that would be for the new 5 that are in these seats. And so it just seems to me that it would be wise to stagger the elections. I don't know that I could be convinced otherwise. So I would say let's get the process started, get an ordinance written so that we can move forward on that.
We'll draft something that, you guys can
Yeah, that'd be good.
go back time to
Yeah.
think about it, deal with it.
Yeah.
So if I could just put something in writing, then maybe not, adopt it, but at least you guys consider it.
And in my opinion, it ought to be 2 and 3. I guess I don't have a strong opinion one way or another. If it's 2 for the 1 year and 3 for the 1 year, I don't know that I have a strong opinion that way, but
My only recommendation would be that you separate the president, but, well, we do that internally, don't we?
yeah, that would be an internal change. The seat itself doesn't really matter. Yeah, Kyle, if you can draft something and give us something to discuss, I think it would.
I'll work with Dan on the annexation and see.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay. Does anybody else have any yeah, Harold?
Are we finished with official business?
Not quite.
Not quite.
Don Thompson couldn't be here. He's the Economic Development Corporation president, but he wanted me to speak on his behalf. The T-Mobile grants he's applied for 4 times have been turned down 4 times. So he's changing gears and he's going to look at paving the lot on the other side of the new fire department, the farmer's market area, putting electricity in there and possibly a pavilion. That's where he's headed. He wanted me to say something about that. So that will be applied. I think it's due the end of March. That's all he had. I had something, but I don't remember. We're going to be looking for volunteers for Swayzee Days to run children's games booths for 3 to 4 hours on a Saturday afternoon. We have a big meeting Thursday night, a couple days, and we'll get all that set up. So we'll be asking Swayzee community members, please. If you don't volunteer, I'm coming to ask you.
You've been one.
Yeah.
Officially drafted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Okay. Harold, what do you got?
Okay. May 5th, primary in Grant County. That's going to be important because we have 1 county commissioner position open. And I am supporting Ed Hartman, who lives over in the southeast corner. He's not well known here, but I've known Ed for about 5 years. There's also other people on there. Mike Scott for clerk. Randy Atkins for, council. Peyton Scott for council, Frank Hicks, and my judge right back there. So, after this is over, I'm going to be making contacts for Ed Hartman. So I've got some cards to remind you or any of your family or friends that might vote for him. Because he will represent the whole county. So see me afterwards. And get all your family and friends to vote in that primary. Most people don't.
He only represents District 3, right? He only represents District 3, right?
Yes.
But he would vote on any issue
He
within the vote.
votes, that's right. That's the big one.
What district are we? Someone asked me that.
2.
I've heard 1 and I've heard 3. So we're 2.
They run east and west, or sorry, they run north and south. And then the district runs east county line to west county line.
And we're 2 clear over here on the west
Yeah,
side.
'cause we're in the middle.
North to south.
The districts run this way. So imagine them being stacked 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So we're in the middle. There's 3 in the middle. They run east and
East and west.
not north. and south.
Okay. I thought I heard
They're
north and
stacked
south.
up, north and south.
Okay.
Run.
That right there.
Okay, any other comments, questions? I make a motion that we adjourn
Where's
at
District
7:55.
So it'd be like July.
Mike second.
Aaron and Mike, all in favor? 5-0. Thank you for attending.